Today we're talking about Tempo by Diptyque. Now, I was on the hunt for a patchouli perfume and I asked people what their favorites were. And basically, there were two that kept coming up. The first one was Coromandel by Chanel. I already have Coromandel, and yes, the patchouli in it is fantastic. There's so much patchouli, but to my nose, it's also so much more. There's like lots going on. There's incense, and there's benzoin, and there's vanilla. It's a little bit sweeter. Of course, it has Chanel florals in it, so I feel like it leans a little bit more feminine. The other one that kept coming up was Borneo 1834 by Serge Lutens, and that one is a great patchouli perfume also. I don't have that one anymore, and the main notes in that are cocoa, cardamom, and then the patchouli. So that's another great patchouli perfume. I actually love that perfume. But I kept coming back to Tempo, and now I've been wearing it for a little while. Tempo is a patchouli perfume, and I can see why it's so popular because it's not very complex and it's really, really easy to wear. The opening of this perfume is a note of Clary sage, and Clary sage kind of has a refreshing, mentholated, uplifting quality, and it really helps to lighten the patchouli in this perfume because the patchouli can be kind of heavy and a little bit dark, and so the Clary sage just makes this a little bit more of an aromatic fragrance. The other note that's in Tempo is mate, and mate is a type of tea, and it's really kind of woodsy almost. And so because of the Clary sage and the woodsiness of the mate, we have a perfume that's aromatic and woodsy, but mainly what you smell when you smell Tempo is the patchouli. And the patchouli is really comforting. It's a little bit cozy. It's very, very easy to wear. And this whole scent is just really calming and grounding, I would say, and it's because of the notes of Clary sage and mate that are combined with the patchouli. Now, what I think is really interesting is that Clary sage, like I said, has a mintiness to it, and cardamom also has a mintiness to it. And I think it's interesting that perfumers, in this case Olivier Pescheux, and in the case of Borneo 1834, it's Christopher Sheldrake, perfumers choose to combine patchouli with a material that is cooling, and I think that helps uplift the patchouli and gives it a bit of airiness. If you've smelled Coromandel, you know that it kind of smells like mentholated white chocolate when you first spray it. So there's something in that too that brings a cooling effect to Coromandel, and it's actually super beautiful, and it works so nicely with the darker, heavier materials. Now, of all the Diptyque perfumes that I've tried so far, I think Tempo is probably the most masculine leaning, and I saw that it was really popular for a little bit, and I asked someone that was buying it what they loved about Tempo, like why is Tempo so popular, and he told me that it smells a little bit like L'Homme Ideal by Guerlain, but it smells like an older first generation version of that perfume. And if you can't find that, or it's too expensive when you do find it, you could wear Tempo instead because they are so similar. So I thought that was really interesting that people are using it as a dupe almost for L'Homme Ideal. And I know that L'Homme Ideal is a kind of revered patchouli perfume, especially in its earlier forms. I haven't smelled that one yet, but it kind of explains the popularity of Tempo, because if you can't find the L'Homme Ideal or you're not satisfied with it, literally across the hall in the department store is the Diptyque stand, and you can just get it at Diptyque. You can get your patchouli fix there. So Tempo is one of the Diptyque scents that is at Diptyque counters. You don't have to go to a boutique to get it. So that's kind of nice. This is an eau de parfum formula, and you can tell that because of the black band around the bottles. The Diptyque bottles with the black around them are eau de parfums, and then if there's no black around them, they're eau de toilettes. This does have really great longevity. It's quite tenacious, so that's a good thing because that's not the case for all Diptyque perfumes. And part of the reason is absolutely because patchouli is a material that is often used as a fixative in perfumes. So it's used to make scent last longer and stick to your skin. Now, of course, you're going to be smelling the patchouli when you smell your perfume, but hopefully it's combined with other ingredients too, and that's what you want. But because that is a characteristic of the patchouli, tempo does last a long time on my skin, and I only usually wear 2 or 3 sprays of this, but I can smell it all day long, so that is really good. Like I said, leans a little bit masculine. It doesn't have a lot of presence, like it's not a very big perfume, doesn't have a lot of sillage, does not have a lot of projection. It is a perfume that I think wears a little bit closer to your body, and I don't know, I think that's okay also. I think if you wanted more people to be able to smell it, you could just wear more of it, and you would be able to have that effect where people could smell it at arm's length away, but that's not something that I want. I like that it wears a little bit closer to my skin, and I love it. It's just such a easy perfume to wear because it is just the patchouli and mostly patchouli that you get. Tempo does lean a little bit masculine, but I think that anyone can wear it. If you're looking for something that's calming and grounding and really just a calm perfume, then this is one to try. I think it leans a little bit more suited to cooler weather. In warmer weather, I find that it can be a little bit heavy, even though there is kind of a cooling aromatic in the opening of it. I find that patchouli is just too heavy in too warm weather. So I wouldn't wear this on a very sunny day or any time that I was going to be outside and like sweating. But if you're going to be in colder, cooler, crisp weather, then I think Tempo is perfect for that. Really beautiful perfume and very, very easy to wear. I think it's also very popular because Diptyque is a little bit more accessible than Serge Lutens. I know that in the US there's no more Serge Lutens distribution, and in Canada we don't have very many Lutens counters, so people often can't even get to them to smell something like Borneo 1834, whereas there are lots more Diptyque counters, and like I said, this is one of the Diptyques that's available at the counter. You don't have to go to the boutique. So there you have it. That is Tempo. Let me know what you think of this, or whether you have a patchouli perfume that you really like. This one is kind of the one that I'm reaching for right now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.